Hey people, Intro here, 3v3, Siege of Vrax, blue team. Dice roll with a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Looks like we got some Death Guard elite scheme though, alongside Reprobate with a Warp Spider Exarch, teleporting hero. There he goes, fighting in ranged combat by default. Great for capping and harassing, powerful control. Rounding off the team, where's he gone to? There he is, Stanley Love as a mech boy, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat. Has some orky gadgets. This is the Goth's elite scheme, I believe. Red team, Shoris with an Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. Up against some Chaos fellas there, alongside Tayling as a Hive Tyrant, a durable hero walking through objects, cannot be suppressed with powerful offense, disruption and support, begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Pasquale. Rounding off the teams, Gatts as a Kommando knob, an infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you, and blows you up. Orky style, begins with a twin link shooter. Looks like it's Orks versus Orks on the east side. Awesome stun bomb on those sluggers there. Now they're being harassed and harangled by Hormagaunts. Very low health Hormagaunts, but they're doing alright. Mech boys in cover, shooting stuff. Some enemy sluggers are going to have a word. Nope. Teleports away. And then runs. No, he's alright. On the west side, whole bunch of dead heretics, some dead guardsmen too. There is a sentinel up for Shoris. Dice roll went for double heretics into double CSM maybe. Reprobate with the triple guardians, and double shooter boys for the Orks, and double termagants for the Tyranids. What's Pasquale doing? He is capping mid VP, grabs it, now he's hungry. Sorcerer is a tasty snack. Oh, I think he's going to get away though. Poor Pasquale. Over on the east side, mech boys on the VP. 3 contested victory points on this map, and the natural power, one of them at least, is very, very close to the base, as you can see on this west side. Very close. The other ones, you get a bit more distance, but they're also very close actually. Might be tough to hit those. Triple Guardians show up, 2 of them with their grenades, thanks to their battle equipment. I don't know why they're showing up without battle equipment. What equipment did they bring? Warp field up for the Hive Tyrant. Allows him to run around and harass things and be even more annoying and difficult to get rid of. And a Holy Brazier for the Inquisitor, gives her a power weapon. And the Holy Pyre, there you see it. Damage over time and debuff, good area denial. Sorcerer's not happy with it, but there it is. I think it's like 20 seconds it lasts too. It's a pain in the ass. Warp Spider teleporting in, getting some shots on some poor guardsmen. Just trying to live their lives, so now they must flee. 481 to 481. It's dead even on a 1-to-1 gap. Big daka big shooter for mech boy. Teleports out, got suppressed by the enemy big shooters on the shooter boys. We have Storm boys up though for Gatts. Stanley Love with a pain boy, maybe backing that up with battery pack. When you're in a mirror like this, anything that can buff your units or heal them or something is great, because it makes your units better than the enemy units with the same type. You can of course get heroes that will just tip the balance in combat anyway, like a big old war boss or something for the Orks. The Pain Boy will help because Gatts doesn't have one. And that'll be a big boon to the sluggers, especially if they get burners up as well to boost their health. Storm Boy's jumping in and then leaving. Guardians looking for some grenade targets maybe. Warp Spider Exarch in the mid. Uncapped VP here. A single for the red team. Improved targeters for the Warp Spider Exarch. Shoris has some Catachan Devils. Took a bunch of damage though, and they're off the field. West side is turning blue. Sorcerer's on it. There's some double Tzeentchian worship. And some grenade launcher heretics and some aspiring champion heretics. Some nice versatility there. It's got double CSM with Eternal War as well. They've spent a bunch of power on their units here, the Sorcerer. Nothing on their own war gear yet. Gonna finish off that gen. There we go. Catachans couldn't quite get the grenade barrage to go in. Inquisitor slays one with the Holy Brazier though. Might be able to make a run on the west side now. Got some artillery spotters also. Get some good hits on clumped up heretics perhaps. Back towards the east side. Pasquale the Hive Tyrant must flee. Kommando's alone now against 2-ish players. Here's the Pain Boy. This guy has a heal over time effect that I can throw on an Orky unit. Can't throw it on non-Orky allies, I don't think. Storm Boys are a threat to the Pain Boy because of their power weapons, but gets a good special attack and heals himself with the Git Source. Just takes a quick swig and then runs. No sign of a battery pack yet. No sign of burners on the sluggers either. Knob leader for the shooter boys though. The other guys also have a knob leader already. That's to help spot the sneaky commando knob, because those guys can detect things, the knob leaders. And they are die last heroes as well. Die last heroes, die last leaders. So you're not losing them often. Gonna lose the whole squad to lose them. Tried to get on the power, but again it's so close to the HQ. They did bash it a bit, and we did see the Chaos fellas bash that gen. A couple of gens, I think, on this side. The Ravener Brood on the field now for Tayling, who goes tier 2. Looks like they were the first player to go, actually. Did they not upgrade the Termagants? They didn't. No upgrades for the Termagants or the Hormagaunts. They did pay for Raveners, and they did pay for their Warp Field as well. 412 to 390. Sorcerer consumes a Heretic. Might see another Doom Bolt fly out. That's a big blob of stuff there to shoot it at, maybe. They go for the Catechins. Oh, they got knocked over by the shotgun blast, I think. Little bit of a flank from Pasquale, the Hive Tyrant. Gets a good impressive special attack. There you go, Pasquale. Go on. Taking a bunch of Daka and Pew Pew from the Eldar, though. So CSN got in a really bad spot. I guess they were trying to melee stuff. Inquisitor on retreat path, slaying them. Hammer of the Witches. Oh, they did it too late and they got out of range. 412 to 372. Another Ravener Brood on the way for Tayling in tier 2. So we may see Venom Brood with the range synapse. Gatts goes tier 2 now. Shoris, the last play in tier 1. West side is red. Mid is blue. East side turning red. So they're going to have a 2-to-1 to try and make up some ground. They're only 40 or so behind. Storm Boys getting their improved rocket packs queued up for tier 2. Means they can jump further and also explode a member. Which is typically quite effective. Is that heavy gauge? That is indeed heavy gauge on the Warp Spider Exarch. That's one way to stop Pasquale the Hive Tyrant coming at you with these big old talons. Just stun it. Sluggers with burners and Knob Leader now for Stanley Love. They still have their Pain Boy. They lost some shooters, but they have a Death Dread now. Gatts has no answer for it because they're not in tier 2 yet. So you may see some tank busters coming out if they spot that Death Dread. Pasquale grabs the VP. There we go. Throws up the shields. Going to fight some sluggers who run because of all the Daka and the 9-foot alien. Death Dread isn't afraid of the Hive Tyrant, though. Special sends him flying. Yeah, not much here that can threaten the Death Dread. Can choose a target and just start mincing infantry. Gets the Hive Tyrant out of there. Looks like they don't want to push too far, though. You never know when an anti-vehicle weapon will just appear on the field. Warp Spiders called in by Reprobate, and they have some more. Double Warp Spiders are in here. That's a lot of DPS. Especially when they can crack shock and stuff. 351 to 364 on the VPs. Pretty close. West side is blue. We have some stormtroopers maybe called in off the global bar from Shoris. That's a global ability of the Inquisitor, much like we saw the Warp Spiders coming in for the Warp Spider Exarch. And they're purchasing some more from the HQ. Tier 3 for Tayling. Did not get any tier 2 units. But they got a pretty solid army as is. Especially when there's that Hive Tyrant to soak up damage. Hormagaunts just wiped though. Did they let them wipe? They didn't move them. Death Dread doesn't have burners and bits yet. So they couldn't really make a run on the power super effectively, and now they're taking tank buster shots. That Stormboy Knob Leader has a heavy melee, huge chopper as well. Stick bombs for the Kommando, now has the sneaky infiltration kit, and goes for the VP. Stormboy's going to cap that power, there we go. Maybe they can bash power with the double shooters and the tank busters. Mech Boy doing some repairs. Back on the west side, it's red. It's a bit of a lull in the action. Stormtroopers doing some power bashing. They've got some good range with the assault kit. Mid is turning red, maybe. Brooder Nest put up there by Tayling. A little bit close, I think, but maybe it will survive for a bit longer. There's that Holy Pyre. Burning some heretics down. That's what happens to heretics. Trying to finish them off here. And gets it done. Catachans, I think, finished them off. Rosarius up for the Inquisitor 2. She's level 3. Done decently well in combat. These guys are really far forward. But double the mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines now. Catachans can help deal with melee, but 2 of them might be rough. Inquisitor can face them in combat, of course. But you may want to get Excruciators now to help control them. Oh, and there's a Blood Crusher in your HQ. And Cult of Speed is active from the allied Mech Boy. That's helping out. Boosting the speed of the Blood Crusher also reduces the cooldown of your weapons, but the Blood Crusher doesn't have any ranged weapons. Did it help the Death Tread get away? Looks like it did. It's getting repairs now. Are the Tank Busters still alive? Yes, they are. Weird Boy for both of the Orc players. Here is Stanley Loves, and there's that Warp Vomit. One of the starting abilities of that guy. Very good. AoE stun. Back towards the west side, turning blue for those Chaos Space Marines. And that Brooder Nest is still up. They can reinforce off that. Tyranids unfortunately don't have a way to repair it. It does slowly regenerate health though. Raven is getting destroyed. Looks like they're going to make it out. These guys burrow striking. Any grenades? Didn't see any. Maybe they were used already. Look at that. More Daka thrown onto those allied warp spiders by the Mech Boy. Some good synergy from the blue team. Tier 3 for Shoris. Tayling is there, of course. Dice roll with double Blood Crushers in play. Shoris wishes they have some anti-armor stormtroopers right about now. Got some Mark of Tzeentch Chaos Space Marines too. That's a lot of heavy melee damage between those two. Yeah, the Catachans do have a melter gun from their sergeant, but as soon as they get into melee with the Blood Crushers, they're going to get torn apart. Are they going to go into base? Looks like it. And they're forcing good retreats, which plays into the Dark Flames, maybe. It's a weird configuration of base turrets on this map. I guess they generally get the job done. Bloodlet is spawning from the Circle of Summoning now. Massive HQ harassment. Using this time to cap up, maybe? No, not really. But there's a contested power point there they didn't take. That Blood Crusher's down to half. Need to try and keep those... Uh-oh. We do have some anti-armor stormtroopers now. They're going to lose that Blood Crusher, I think. Yep, down it goes. Both of them went down, actually. Big push by Dice Roll. Was it worth it? I mean, they got a decent amount of VP time off it. And they've now gone tier 3. It carried them to tier 3. And they did wipe some guardsmen and stuff. Triple cap now for the blue team. More Orky buffs on the Warp Spiders. Increases their fire rate, I believe. But it doesn't work that way if you put it onto Tank Busters. You just boost their damage, I think. Because having Tank Busters fire faster would be very, very broken. Dark Flames, can it finish off those Stormtroopers? Finished off one of them. But very close. That's a global ability of the Chaos Sorcerer. You'll often see it thrown onto retreating units to try and finish them off. Tayling has a Carnifex on the way. There are double Warp Spiders. They could both haywire it potentially. They don't have it yet. Maybe we'll see a Strangled Thorn. There is a bunch of infantry around. Chaos Space Marines run. Red team taking back the west side. And they didn't get that far behind on the VPs. They're also taking the mid thanks to Pasquale, who now has the improved Synapse. A couple Warp Spiders maybe showing up a little bit early here. Able to reposition though, of course, alongside their Exarch. There's a bunch of anti-infantry firepower there. Don't think I've seen Cracked Shot being used, which is a Warp Spider Global. They're trying to revive the Chaos Sorcerer. It might be tough because there's a weird boy who can disrupt, but they got in and forced it to back off, and there is the Chaos Sorcerer back to their feet. Blob capping the eastern side now, those Tyranids, as the Carnifex up, and it's a Thorn back. Gives it some more hit points, can also spawn Rippers, and it can charge, which is often best used to get out of trouble, but hyper-aggressive Tyranid players might use it to get into trouble. I'm guessing they're looking to grab some haywire grenades now. I don't see them. Do they want an Avatar? Looks like they're saving for an Avatar. Nob Squad on the way for Stanley Love. Nothing yet really to threaten this Carnifex. Nob Squad certainly will though. Especially if they can get those Mech Boy buffs going. Did they get battery pack? They did. Have a custom force field as well. They don't have the super tough beam, which is really expensive, but really bloody good. Red team capping up the west side. Death Dread having a go at Pasquale. Couldn't quite get that special attack to disrupt the revive. Warp Spider now runs. Hive Tyrant also needs to run. You see their Tayling created a little bit of space before they retreated. It meant they didn't take the extra melee damage from being a retreating unit there. Might have made a difference. Carnifex is kind of isolating itself. Looks like it's gonna be okay-ish. We do have a haywire here. They don't have double haywires. There it is. Shuts down weaponry of the unit and also slows it down. Does some damage as well. And here comes the Nob Squad. And they will go after anything. And do a pretty damn good job in it too with those heavy melee choppers they have. Also have their Nob leader now. He's got over 1,000 hit points by himself. Carnifex is okay though. Avatar coming in though. Avatar's buffing Nobs is pretty scary. It gives the Nobs suppression immunity if they're close enough. Also some other buffs. I believe he maybe even buffs damage, the Avatar. I always forget all of the buffs he gives. Suppression immunity alone is amazing. And he's a damn good combatant in his own right, that Avatar. Super unit for Eldar. What's going on west side? Bunch of Tyranids having a go. We have a Chaos Predator, Mark of Corn, and there's a Lumen Russ. And it's getting Vanquisher. Eldritch Storm. It's the Lumen Russ. Typically trying to have a tank battle with Imperial Guard goes badly, but that Storm really helped out. Can they get it down? They're trying. Imperial Guard tanks are so tough, and Vanquisher cannons are amazing. Almost got it. Oh, Rocket Run comes in. So close. Gotta finish it off. There we go. Lehman Russ is down. Chaos Predator maybe can get away. Carnifex is going after it. Uh-oh. Should not have stopped. Down it goes. Subjugated anti-armor stormtroopers now. Thanks to the Sorcerer's special tome of subjugation. Seems like a pretty good book, this one, to have with you. Avatar Wailing Doom. Gets a few stormtroopers, but they're okay. No Meaner and Greener yet for the Nob Squad. I guess there's not a lot of suppression around on the enemy team, but Meaner and Greener does give you a whole bunch of damage resistance as well. Avatar taking swings on the Inquisitor. Frack almost killed her there with that swing on retreat. Barely made it out. An avatar being super heavy infantry armor does not like melter guns or plasma guns or power weapons. I believe in the tabletop, it used to be the case, at least around 5th or 6th edition, that the avatars were completely immune to melter weapons because, you know, they're made of like molten fire skin. I'm not sure if that's still the case in the tabletop. Plague Marines on the field for dice roll. Here we see a battle wagon for Gatts having a grand old time. Got some units inside of it. It was Storm Boys. Are they going to jump something? Oh, we have a beamy death gun for the mech boy getting shots in. Taking chunks out of that battle wagon. Subjugated Storm Boys now. Jumping on their Tyranid allies. And chopping them down. I believe you can knock over the Sorcerer to stop their subjugation, but I guess the Catechins didn't have their shotgun blast available. Avatar now is trying to stab the Carnifex. Carnifexes are tough, especially with Thornback. They'll have a bunch of health and melee resistance, and they can level up, of course. This guy's over 2,000 hit points over here. Nice grenade on those Plague Marines. Being attacked from two sides, which negates cover from one side at least. And they run. Avatar staying in play for now. What do we got going on? Swarmlord on the way for Tayling. Shoris looks like maybe they are saving for a big old super heavy tank. Nope. It's another Leman Russ on the way. I was lying to you. Here's a Rocks. Global nuke for Orks. Looks like that was thrown in by Stanley Love. And the Commander knob doesn't care. So it's going to cap through it. Wasn't knocked away far enough to stop the capping. And looks like he's got the rocket launcher. Launcher, I should say. Get it right. 49 to 45. Triple cap for red. It's incredibly close. That might be enough. That triple cap might be enough, you know. Battle wagon on the way for Gatts to replace the one they lost. Shoris trying to get a Leman Russ up, but I think they're going to run out of time. Well, they're in the lead, but the units aren't going to make it onto the field, I don't think. Blue team that's running out of time. Then they've done enough. There's a GG from Gatts. Red team take it. I wasn't even paying attention to the VPs. It was a very awesome back and forth game. We had a level 5 Sorcerer with that Tome of Subjugation, just leveling at the end there, I think, with some Dark Flames shenanigans. Had a great fight with the Inquisitor on that side. Level 6 Warp Spider Exarch. A level 4 Mech Boy. That Orky fight was fun. Storm Boys in the air there. Level 6 Inquisitor. Pasquale got level 7. Did not get a melee upgrade. And a level 3 Kommando. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you next time.